In my video about writing with mirrors, a lot of what I talked about was characters who mirror one another. So I wanted to give a quick example of what it might look like to build a character mirror like that in your own work, what the process is, how we go about it. So I'm going to start with the assumption that you have a character. You've got somebody in mind and you know who they are, and you want us to know who they are, who this character is, what's important to them, what's important about them, and you want to use a mirror in order to show that. So for this example, I'm going to take a character concept that I just made up. I want to write about a sneaky princess. I have this kind of mental image of this princess sneaking around the castle, getting into all kinds of rooms and treasuries and documents where she really shouldn't go, playing different people at the court off of one another. So that's my concept. And I'm going to add just a little bit more context. I'm going to say that she is super frustrated with court politics and the royal power. She just feels like everything takes forever. It's all politics. You can't move. You can't make a difference. It's not helping anybody. This is where she is at. Okay, so that's my character concept, a sneaky princess frustrated with court politics. Great. So to me, that suggests three different axes. I'm going to say that she is sneaky, and the opposite of that might be being direct. I'm going to say that she is a princess, she's royal, and the opposite of that axis might be being common. And lastly, the princess is frustrated with court politics. She wants to take action, and that I can set against the status quo, against patience, against leaving things the way that they are. So I've created three axes here. And the great thing is, if I come up with another character and I position them somewhere else along these axes, pretty much any combination of these is going to be an interesting character who is immediately relevant to this character and this setup that I have already created. For example, if I want to take a diametric opposite to this character, well, then that would be maybe a plain-spoken commoner who thinks that our princess is only going to make everything worse by trying to shake things up. I've gotten that just by looking at these similarities and differences and saying, let's pick the opposite on every one of these axes. When you're choosing these traits, these axes that you're going to be building the mirroring around, they can be pretty much anything. They can have to do with the character's personality or the character's beliefs and worldview. They can be compared to other characters who believe the same thing or have a worldview which is opposite. They can have to do with the character's skills or their chosen profession or how they tackle problems. They can have to do with the character's group or identity that they belong to, which could be something from the real world or could also be something that's unique to your story, what planet they come from or what house they belong to. Okay, so what if we have not one character that you've already got in mind and you want in your story, but if we have two? Let's say that alongside our sneaky princess, we also have a vagabond duelist who is seeking vengeance for her dead family. Okay, how do we handle that? Mirroring encourages us to take this second character and place her on the same axes that we were using for the sneaky princess, and vice versa. It doesn't have to be all the axes. They don't have to be related on every single component, but it is worth considering playing up at least one connection or difference, just in order to have that immediate sense of connection and comparison. You can also, instead of using an axis that you already have from one character or from the other, you can create a new one, just something that ties the characters together and establishes some kind of comparison. So if we have the sneaky princess and the vagabond duelist, maybe the contrast that we want to set up for these two is local versus well-traveled, or government compared to personal action. Maybe what they have in common is some kind of feeling or position in life. Maybe both of them feel that they're reaching the limits of their patience. Or maybe both of them happens to feel that they are the black sheep of their family. Whatever it is, will be important. It'll be a kind of spotlight that will direct the reader's attention, make them feel a kinship or a contrast between these characters. That's all for today. If you have any questions or requests for a topic that you'd like to see me cover, just leave me a comment. I'll be back in a few days with another video in this series. See you then.